Episode 56, RY March 18, 2024. 21 different goodbyes to New York with fired pizza. Humboldt County, California. In episode 56, RY1, 21 different goodbyes for New York with burning pizzerias. 2. Humboldt County, California with burning plant lacks a permit. 2. United States. 3. Alaska. 4. Colorado. 5. New Jersey. 6. Canada. 7. United Kingdom. 8. Denmark.
9. Finland.
10. Lebanon.
11. Nigeria.
12. China. 13. Korea. 14. Thailand. 15. PM2.5 and Human Health. 16. California, Humboldt County with burning plant lacks a permit.
1A. 21 différents goodbyes, language, formal informal, French au revoir à plus tard.
Spanish Adiós Chao. Russian Dasvidaniya Poka.
Chinese Zàijiàn Bài.
Italian Arrivederci, Ciao, Japanese Sayonara, German Auf Wiedersehen Tschüss, Portuguese Adeu Chau, Korean Annyeonghi gasipshio Jal-ga, Arabic Iilaa alliqa salama, Danish Farvel Hej, Swahili Kwaheri Baadaye, Dutch da, Grek Antio Yah-soo, Police Dasvidaniya Poka, Indonesian Sampai Hind Namaste, Norwegian Adjø Ha, Turkish Hoşçakalın Güle, Hebrew Lehitra'ot Bye, Swedish Hej.
1B, goodbye with fire pizza in New York State. 106.5 WIRK. There may be some changes to that if you choose to eat a pizza that is fresh from the wood-burning stove or oven. New York is famous for pizza. Other New York State wood-burning news. New York burn ban in effect. Wellsville Regional News.com. Wellsville Regional News.com burning. Since 2009, DEC enforces the annual brush burning ban from March. Only charcoal or dry, clean, untreated, or unpainted wood can be burned. New York, Hornell, D.C. The burn ban goes into effect this weekend. AM 1480 WLEA News. WLEA open burning is prohibited in NYS, with several exceptions. Campfires or only charcoal or dry, clean, untreated, or unpainted wood can be burned. New York, Cortland. Spring burn ban begins. Cortland standard wood can be burned. Forest rangers, DEC environmental conservation police officers, and local authorities enforce the burn ban. Violators are 2. United States. PM2.5 and tax breaks for wood burning. Unintended consequences or intended consequences. How clean energy tax breaks could fuel a U.S. wood burning boom. Inside Climate News. In theory, carbon dioxide emitted from burning wood gets taken up and stored by newly planted trees in a form of carbon recycling. But in practice, United States. Wood burning in residential areas. Reducing the impact of biomass combustion in residential units on local air quality by using ScienceDirect.com. Kaibasoja, et al., 28, burned birch logs in a wood-fired stove, 18 kilowatts, with and without a catalytic converter with palladium and platinum as catalysts. United States. United States Senate resolution to nullify EPA's PM2.5 standard of 9 micrograms per cubic meter annually. Senators introduced CRA resolution to nullify EPA's particulate matter standard in December 2020. The EPA reviewed and decided to retain the standard set in 2012 for both PM2.5 and PM10 or 2.5 micrometers or less in diameter. And Subcommittee Chair Carter introduces bill reversing negative impacts of Biden's jobs-killing Buddy Carter. Particulate matter, or PM2.5. The short-sighted and unworkable approach from the administration underscores the need to update the process for Tuberville. New EPA rule will hurt businesses, crush manufacturing, and drive up prices. Yellowhammer News. He also noted that the majority of PM2.5 emissions come from sources unrelated to manufacturing, such as wildfires and miscellaneous activities. United States. EPA grant funding for emissions from wood heaters, closed announcement. Grant funding for emissions from wood heaters, closed announcement, FI 24 U.S. EPA Environmental Protection Agency. Summary. Residential wood heating, RWH, emissions contribute heavily to increased ambient particulate matter, PM, concentrations. They are a primary reason for the federal PM2.5 non-attainment status for many areas throughout the 3. Alaska. FNSB PM2.5 Design Value Comparison. Alaska Department of Environmental Conservation. Alaska Department of Environmental Conservation. State of Alaska full coverage for Colorado, Jefferson County. Jeffco residents can monitor air quality through Love My Air website. Colorado Community Media. PM2.5 is particulate matter and 2.5 refers to the size of the matter, which is 2.5 micrometers in diameter according to Pitts. PM2.5 has the greatest. 5. New Jersey. New Jersey voters may soon decide whether they have a right to a clean environment. WHYY. They say EPA's failure to review and ensure emission standards for residential wood-burning stoves has allowed the continued sale of appliances that 6. Canada, British Columbia. BC's old growth protections come under renewed scrutiny. CBC News. Drax defends its BC wood sourcing. The fiber Drax produces at its 12 pellet mills in BC are burned to produce fuel for electricity in its UK power. Canada, South Caribou, 108-mile ranch. 108-mile volunteer fire department extinguished chimney fire. My caribou, now burning in the wood stove and smoke, was backing up into the residence. Fire Chief Chris Haddad said the fire in the wood stove was quickly. Canada, PM2.5 and health impact. Health impacts of air pollution in Canada in 2018. Canada, CAR new analysis showed that PM2.5 exposure was higher in 2016 and air pollution health burden estimates totaled 17,700 premature deaths, or 49. Canada's Black Carbon Inventory Report 2024, Chapter 3 Canada.ca for example, diesel engines have relatively high emission rates of PM2.5 per unit energy, and the fraction of black carbon in these PM2.5 emissions is. Canada, Alberta. Fire advisory in effect, March 14, 2024, the Alberta Wildfire Block. Government of Alberta. Any burning without a valid fire permit, other than a campfire, is prohibited. Allowed, safe-wood campfires *, backyard fire pits, portable propane. 7. United Kingdom, Thornham. New holiday lodges planned for Drove Orchards at Thornham. Eastern Daily Press. Thornham is a small coastal village about 4 miles east of Hunstanton and is situated in the Norfolk coast area of outstanding natural beauty. It adds now some of its customers no longer want a back-to-basics experience staying in a canvas lodge with wood-burning stove, but are looking. Plans for new holiday lodges have been revealed for a farm owned by a leading counselor, which has diversified into tourism and retail. Drove Orchards and Wild Luxury has applied for planning permission to build 5 lodges at its site at Thornham, near Hunstanton. 8. Denmark. The Danish Parenting Code. Unraveling the mystery behind happier and more balanced children. MSN. I knew I was in trouble when my preschooler came home smelling of wood smoke and told me he had been practicing knife skills. When his twin. 9. Finland. Finland's wood fuels consumption decreased by 2% in 2023. Less prom combined with the fuel wood burned in small-scale housing. The total consumption of wood fuels was 29.3 million cubic meters. According to Natural. 10. Lebanon. Feature. Displaced Lebanese long for home as Hezbollah-Israel clashes rage on Shinwa wood-burning heater in a temporary shelter in the southern city of Nabatea, discussing ways of securing his family's urgent needs during the holy. This photo taken on March 15, 2024 shows smoke caused by an Israeli airstrike in Kafr Kila, Lebanon. Wood-burning heater in a temporary shelter in displaced Lebanese long for home as Hezbollah-Israel clashes rage on China.org.cn. Salem Hijazi, a 50-year-old man displaced from Lebanon's southern village of Adiós, sits with his family around a wood-burning heater in 11, Nigeria, Ogun State. Rising LPG prices may worsen carbon pollution, says Ogun Commissioner. Punch newspapers. Ogun State is a state in southwestern Nigeria. As a Nigerian state, Ogun is the second most industrialized state after Lagos, with a focus on metal processing. It has good road and rail connections to the harbors in Lagos and Lekki. Wole Soyinka, winner of the Nobel Prize for Literature 1986, lives in Ogun. Speaking on the effects of wood burning, Orisanya stated, when you burn wood, it releases more carbon monoxide. There is no way it will not cause. 12. China. Diabetes and PM2.5 long-term particulate matter exposure and type 2 diabetes mellitus mortality in southern China. ScienceDirect.com. PM2.5 may significantly impact the mortality rate of T2DM. We applied causal inference to explore the association between PM and 13. Korea. Seoul. Seoul issues weather advisory as yellow dust sweeps Korean peninsula. Korea Junong Daily. The fine dust concentration in tags Korea weather yellow dust fine dust pollution air pollution, PM2.5, 14. Thailand. Chiang Mai. Thai PM vows to curb air pollution in tourist hotspot Chiang Mai. VN Express International. Thaksin, on his first public outing since his release from a jail sentence following his return from self-exile, also spoke about PM2.5. Calling Thai PM vows to curb air pollution in tourist hotspot Chiang Mai. Macau business. Thai PM vows to curb air pollution in Chiang Mai. Borneo Bulletin. Online levels of PM2.5 pollutants, small enough to enter the bloodstream through the lungs, were at 224 yesterday afternoon, 20 times higher than the Thai PM vows to curb air pollution in tourist hotspot Chiang Mai. The star levels of PM2.5 pollutants, small enough to enter the bloodstream. PM2.5. Calling it the biggest problem. Thailand strives to curb air pollution in tourist hotspot Chiang Mai. World. Vietnam plus Thai Prime Minister Sretha Thavisin on March 16 vowed to tackle air levels of PM2.5 pollutants, small enough to enter the bloodstream. Thai PM vows to curb air pollution in tourist hotspot Chiang Mai. Barron's levels of PM2.5. Thaksin, on his first public outing since his release from a jail sentence following his return from self-exile, also spoke. Thai PM vows to curb air pollution in tourist hotspot Chiang Mai. Malay male levels of PM2.5 pollutants, small enough to enter the bloodstream through the lungs, were at 224 on Saturday afternoon, 20 times higher than. Thai PM vows to curb air pollution in tourist hotspot Chiang Mai. The Straits Times levels of PM2.5 pollutants, small enough to enter the bloodstream through PM2.5, calling it the biggest problem. 10 million Thais treated for pollution health problems in 2023. Signer Daily. Bangkok. Thailand must do more to tackle air pollution, a government agency has warned, saying more than 10 million people required treatment for 15. PM2.5 and adult acne increase. AAD. Adult acne clinic visits increase with exposure to wildfire-related air pollution. Health Day. PM2.5 concentration, fire status, and satellite-based smoke plume density scores. The researchers found that an increase in weekly PM2.5 and disparities. Widening of disparities in pollution-attributed health burden observed. Physicians' weekly 2.5 micrometers, PM2.5, through a health impact assessment. The researchers found similarly, there were increases of 40% in ethnic relative disparities. PM2.5 and human health. Particulate matter. What are the damages of pollution to human health? Breaking latest news. wood for home heating to forest fires, and many other industrial processes. I study. Over the last 20 years, the climate crisis has caused for PM2.5 and physical activity for older adults. Objectively measured the impact of ambient air pollution on physical activity for older adults. BMC Public Health, Biomed. Central. AQI and PM2.5 were observed to exhibit significant, inverse, and linear associations with mean daily walk steps, minutes of light physical activity. 16. California, Humboldt County. This biomass plant is apparently not documenting its particulate emissions. Biomass plant sparks controversy over visible air pollution. https://kimkimp.com/20246/03/1/biomass-plant-sparks-controversy-over-clean-air-compliance-and-economic-impact/question mark. FBC lid equals California, Humboldt, Scotia sawmill wood burning plant. Carbon dioxide and particulate pollution at a wood burning plant lacks a permit. Rozepview. Who's who in the Humboldt County California debate over clean air compliance for a biomass wood burning sawmill plant. The CCE, EPIC, INSUQMD, and HSC, the owner of the wood burning biomass plant. The players. 1. The Coalition for Clean Energy, CCE. 2. The Environmental Protection Information Center, EPIC. 3. North Coast Unified Air Quality Management District, INSUQMD. 4. Humboldt Sawmill Company, HSC. The owner of Scotia Sawmill Plant, and HSC, the owner of the wood burning biomass plant. 5. Citizens of Scotia. 5A. No air quality meter, and brown haze, suggesting PM2.5 emissions. 5B. Carbon dioxide emissions. 5C. Permit for stack monitoring. 6. Biomass burning emissions in general. Scientific facts. 7. HSC smoke school training. 8. Citizens' online comments for compliance with air quality standards. 9. Citizens' online comments okaying non-compliance with air quality standards. 1. The Coalition for Clean Energy, CCE, triggered the dispute, alleging that the plant has been operating without a permit since February 2022. 2. In response to CCE, the Environmental Protection Information Center, EPIC, challenged the 3. North Coast Unified Air Quality Management District, INSUQMD, district's handling of the biomass plant's permit renewal. 1. A local retired physician and key figure in the CCE initially raised concerns about the permit renewal application's timing, asserting that it was submitted a year and a half after expiration. The crux of the issue for many environmentalists is the greenhouse gas emissions of biomass-generated energy. In their press release, CCE wrote, in 2022 the Humboldt Sawmill biomass plant emitted 312,559 tons of CO2e, which is equivalent to 70% of the greenhouse emissions from all the county's passenger vehicles, Humboldt's largest source of greenhouse gas emissions. The CCE admitted to an error regarding the permit's expiration date in their follow-up statement. However, they continued to challenge the plant's legality, citing federal regulations requiring a timely renewal application. The group took aim at INSUQMD, accusing the district of displaying favoritism towards the biomass plant. The CCE opposes using biomass to generate electricity, which, they say, emits large amounts of carbon dioxide. Instead, the coalition advocates for the replacement of the 38-year-old power plant with a cleaner facility capable of transforming sawmill waste and thinned forest residues into environmentally beneficial products such as hydrogen, liquid biofuels, biochar, building insulation, and hydromulch for stabilizing slopes after wildfires. 2. EPIC contends that based on environmental regulations, the biomass plant is actually operating without a permit to do so, or a shield to cover operations in a grace period situation. EPIC's letter asserts that INSUQMD erroneously informed Humboldt Sawmill Company, HSC, and the public that the biomass plant could operate without a permit until the renewal process is complete. According to EPIC, HSC's renewal application, submitted on May 12, 2023, was neither timely nor complete. The district, however, notified HSC on July 28, 2023, that the plant could continue to operate under an application shield. EPIC contends that the plant has been operating without a valid permit or application shield since July 19, 2023. 3. INSUQMD responded, conceding to a procedural violation but steadfastly defending the plant's legality until a final decision on the renewal is made. Deputy Air Pollution Control Officer for INSUQMD clarified the EPA's delegation of authority in emphasizing the procedural violation and justified the ongoing operation of the plant, highlighting the district's enforcement efforts, a comprehensive review process, and the addressing of emission concerns and health risks. For prior to EPIC statements on March 11, HRC, the owner of the biomass plant, issued a press release in which HRC took the opportunity to tout the benefits of their biomass plant, emphasizing its efficiency, economic viability, and positive environmental impact. HRC claims the biomass energy source, when left to break down naturally, releases methane. Additionally, burning byproducts in open piles/burning unleashes a complete range of emissions into the air. However, by utilizing woody debris in the biomass plant, HRC says their controlled systems are able to capture over 90% of these emissions. HRC pointed out their role as an economic driver in Humboldt County and as an employer to over 300 individuals. 5. Residents in Scotia voiced concerns about emissions from the biomass plant, citing the color or opacity of smoke coming from the plant stacks. INSUQMD does not have an air quality meter in Scotia. However, the regulations for HRC to maintain a permit now require in-stack monitoring. The new plan calls for in-stack sampling to be conducted. 6. When biomass is burned for heat or electricity, it releases carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, challenging the concept of carbon neutrality. Biomass energy is not inherently clean and causes deforestation, pollution, in the form of particulate matter, PM2.5, matter is emitted, raising human health issues. California, Humboldt County. Biomass plant sparks controversy over clean air compliance and economic impact. Edited by Razab for brevity and clarity in relationship to residents against with smoke emission particulates, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Tuesday, March 12, 2024, 12:01 a.m. Lisa Music 109 comments Mill in Scotia. The Environmental Protection Information Center, EPIC, has entered the ongoing controversy surrounding the Humboldt sawmill biomass plant in Scotia. Yesterday, EPIC issued a pointed press release address to the North Coast Unified Air Quality Management District, NCQMD, challenging the district's handling of the biomass plant's permit renewal. The Coalition for Clean Energy, CCE, triggered the dispute, alleging that the plant has been operating without a permit since February 2022. In violation of Federal Clean Air Act regulations and North Coast Unified Air Quality Management District, NCQMD, rules. HRC's Community Outreach Coordinator stated that HRC employs individuals with smoke school training. Smoke School provides training and certification for individuals conducting visible emission observations, VEO, to ensure compliance with Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, regulations. EPA laws mandate facilities within a specified range producing air pollutants to perform VEO and submit periodic reports, requiring certified employees who must undergo hands-on testing every 6 months to maintain reliability and accuracy, thereby avoiding environmental violations and costly fines. That, though, is little assurance to those Scotia residents that say they can see and smell noxious emissions infiltrating their homes and lives, worrying about the potential harm that may come from their industrial neighbor. However, up to this point, the NCQMD has affirmed HRC's ability to operate the biomass plant while their permit application is in process. Meanwhile, EPIC and CCE continue to contest the legality of plant operations following the permit expiration. As EPIC challenges NCQMD, the community awaits further developments in this environmental showdown in Scotia. Press release from EPIC. Link to HRC article. HRC providing clarification and amplification to recent press releases regarding combined heat and power biomass plant in Scotia, California. Join the discussion. For rules, visit https://kimkim.com/commenting-rules. Comments edited by Razab for brevity and clarity in relationship to residents against with smoke emission particulates, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Comment system how to https://www.discuss.com/community/post ID/10599. Public health and safety often takes precedent. So, according to your conclusions, it is more important to the economic health of Humboldt County to degrade the air quality over the health and well-being of people living in Humboldt County? If that statement is true, you can only sacrifice what belongs to you, your money, goods, or life. If you expend those of someone else, that's not a sacrifice, it's theft and malice. Only, scrubbers create another problem. They use large volumes of water to make them work. The asphalt mix/manufacturing operations convinced everyone scrubbers were the answer. Nope, it only created polluting the rivers they were diverting the water from, and their percolation ponds were a joke. Why do you think Mercer Fraser got shut down at Cooks Valley? We are shipping logs to China where they have no regard for the environment. We should be shipping them the finished lumber product. How are you helping to improve anything? Please note how they use job creation that has nothing to do with the pollution they are creating. I guess you don't consider solar with battery storage any kind of alternative to PG&E? What he said was not burning the material in the power plant will cause more pollution. Unless you consider Humboldt County a third-world country, burning timber slab and sawmill waste that is more than a century-old idea, given that we live in the 21st century. With many different ways to produce electricity from renewable energy sources that have a zero carbon footprint and use battery storage. Maybe you have heard of it? Why do we need to keep burning anything to make electricity? I heard them discussing this topic on CMUT a few weeks ago, and they claimed that a review of ER visits indicated 65 extra people coming in from Scotia/Rio Del per year for respiratory stuff. I don't have the information needed to vet that claim, but that's the claim. There is another polluting biomass plant in Ukiah Valley near Calpella, and the Highway 101, State Route 20, interchange. It has been causing people from Calpella to have asthma and other lung issues including throat and lung cancer. In the late 1980s, the Harwood family tried to build a biomass plant in the foggy Willigs Valley, but all the local residents formed an alliance and showed up en masse to the Willie City Council Town Hall meeting, and the Harwood family biomass plant was shut down. The major concerns were that Willigs Little Lake Valley gets fogged in with ancient lake gases during winter months, which would literally trap the pollution from the biomass plant. Good riddance. Scotia residents should look into health conditions of the community and ties to throat and lung cancers from this toxic spewing plant whose fumes enter everybody's homes and poison the community. https://ceqnet.opr.ca.gov/198703031/2 https://mindovoice.com/202/07/fearing- for -their-health-group-wants-pellet-plant-shut-down-COVID This is a zoning issue with Scotia being a one-time company town owned by the mill. I was subjected to bad air quality is a terrible argument against air quality regulation. According to the California Air Resources Board, in 2022, Humboldt Sawmill Company released 312,559 metric tons of total emissions. 7,145 metric tons of emitter CO2e from non-biogenic sources and CH4 and N2O from biogenic fuels. 305,414 metric tons of emitter CO2 from biogenic fuels, and had 312,559 metric tons of non-covered emissions. Visit https://www.aerb.ca.gov/sites/reporting/GHG-rep/reported-data/2022-GHG-emissions-2023-11.xlsx Lisa. Do you know if HSC uses cap and trade to offset what they burn? https://www.arb.ca.gov/r-work/programs/cap-and-trade-program. I do not know if they use the cap and trade program for that in regards to the biomass plant, aka HSC. However, MHRC does have a forest carbon credit program you can read about here. Forest Carbon Projects HRC LLC CO2 is an emission but is not a particulate that hurts air quality or causes health problems like lung cancer. Asthma. With smoke is quite toxic, but most people don't realize this. I just drove by there tonight, and the power plant was billowing out a lot of smoke. In fact, the town had a layer of haze from the smoke. I'm glad I don't live next to that thing. It can't be good for your health.